The state of Missouri is making plans for when a COVID-19 vaccine becomes available, and that includes Jasper County. Details are coming up.
It's been over a month since Leora Hardy, a Joplin teen, went missing. Tonight, the community is coming together to pray for her safe return. I'm Kate Kelly with that story just ahead.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Although a COVID-19 vaccine is not yet available, the state of Missouri has a plan for its rollout. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to the Jasper County Health Department administrator to learn how Jasper County is involved.
When a COVID-19 vaccine is approved and ready, the state of Missouri will also be ready. It recently presented the CDC with a vaccination rollout plan that puts healthcare workers at the front of the line. Next in line will be critical infrastructure workers, such as first responders and law enforcement, as well as Missourians at a higher risk for the coronavirus, which includes the elderly. The administrator for the Jasper County Health Department says the state is already looking into who might distribute a COVID-19 vaccine in the county.
They will start signing organizations like health departments, hospitals, and physicians' offices or pharmacies and things of that nature.
The health department administrator says it's too early to speculate who will be on the vaccine distribution list, but he suspects his health department will have plenty of partners.
You know, with the population of Jasper County, it would take the health department as the only distributor a long time to get that distributed. So there'll have to be we'll have to have alternate sites of distribution.
County residents who spoke to KOAM say they'll be taking the coronavirus vaccine when it's available.
If there was a cure for it, I wouldn't take the vaccine. But since there's not a cure for it, I do believe I would take the vaccine.
But not everyone was happy about the way Missouri is prioritizing who will be the first to get the vaccine.
I believe it should be available to everybody at, no matter what race, color, how much money you make or whatever, it should be available to everybody all at the same time.
In Jasper County, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
If you'd like to read the full copy of Missouri's vaccination plan, just click on this story on KOAMnewsnow.com. Right now, today's KOAM News Now Instapoll question: will you take a COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available? You can participate in the poll at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or on the KOAM News Now app. We're going to check in on the numbers here in just a bit. Students in Crawford County who have close contact with a COVID case in the classroom no longer have to quarantine. The county commission approved the recommendation from the county health officer. Health Officer Timothy Stebbins says over the first 9 weeks of school, 94 students have tested positive. That led to more than 1,000 students on quarantine because they were considered close contacts, but none of those students ended up testing positive.
We really hope that we're going to be able to keep students in our buildings more in a safe environment and not have to be out of the building when they're wanting to be there for a 14-day period or even longer.
Stebbins stresses that all of the schools will continue COVID-19 mitigation strategies and students will be closely monitored. They'll continue to quarantine students who are considered high risk. Doug Hetty joins us now with the first look at the weather. If you went to one of those high school football games tonight, you already know it is cold out there.
Yeah, it's super cold. We had record highs yesterday, 85. Our actual high today was 71, but this was at midnight. And then, of course, we sat into the 40s all day long. Plus, it's been windy, so it makes it feel even worse. Socked in with the clouds. These clouds could break up a little bit. We are going to get pretty cold tonight, but I think they're going to hang pretty tough. We're going to stay dry. It's just the clouds are going to be sticking around, and that's keeping our temperatures into lower 40s. So we actually have freeze warnings for us tonight. I don't really think those are warranted. I think we're going to stay at about 35 or 36 for an overnight low. But our wind chills will get down into the upper 20s with our north winds at about 5 to 10. So let's go 36, a pretty good frost in the morning. I think most of us will stay above freezing. And then if we can get a little bit of sunshine, we should get up to about 50, maybe 52 degrees. Still chilly, but better than what we saw today. Also an interesting storm system for early next week. We'll look at that here in a bit.
The Jasper School District says it reminded staff members of its policy that they should not lead students in prayer or promote prayer. It's in response to a letter the Freedom from Religion Foundation sent to the Jasper R5 School District. That was over reports that a football coach led players in prayer before games. You can read the full response on our website, koamnewsnow.com. It's been more than a month since 14-year-old Leora Hardy went missing from her home in Joplin. Authorities have followed up on more than 120 leads, but with no answers in sight, Leora's family and the community are praying for a miracle. KOAM's Kate Kelly reports.
Huddled against the wind and cold, dozens of people gather together to lift up Leora Hardy's family, praying that wherever she is, she's warm and safe. Even though the family is heartsick with worry over the young teen, they're thankful for this support.
It means a lot. It gives me peace to know that people are out there looking and praying, and it really means a lot to me and my family.
Without the community, we would be more lost than we are right now.
So far, despite aid from local and national agencies, including the FBI, police say there are no new developments in Leora's case. She was last seen in her neighborhood in the area of D Street and North Wall Avenue on September 17th. With each passing day, family and friends grow more anxious.
If it was my child, I would want as many people as possible here to support me and looking for my child.
Yellow ribbons and missing posters line the street where Leora disappeared, a painful reminder for the many people who miss her.
The yellow ribbon symbolizes her being gone, and we plan on wearing it until she is found or she returns home.
We need reminders. We need to keep her face out there and keep the faith that someone will see her and do the right thing and bring her home.
Leora's family hopes this message gets back to her and these lights will help guide her home.
We all need to know that she's okay and safe.
In Webb City and Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Leora Hardy, please contact the Joplin Police Department. The McDonald County, Missouri Sheriff's Office is now working with a DNA testing agency to try to identify the body of a woman found 30 years ago, dubbed Grace Doe. These are an artist's renderings of what Grace Doe might have looked like. Authorities say her body was found in December of 1990 by a couple walking along Oscar Talley Road near Lanigan. She had been tied up using 6 types of bindings, including a military-grade paracord. Investigators say they used to think Grace Doe and her abductor were from this area, but based on dental work Grace had done, they now believe she was from a larger city. Authorities are now hoping that DNA testing will provide a break in the case. Still ahead, results from tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll question on whether you'll take a COVID vaccine when it's available. And with the election season heating up, so are emotions. We'll examine some ways you can maintain a friendship with someone who you disagree with politically. Fresh off their final debate showdown last night, both President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden are back on the campaign trail with Election Day now just 11 days away. Today, President Trump touted a deal to normalize relations between Israel and Sudan at the White House. Afterwards, he turned his focus back to the campaign trail with 2 stops in the key state of Florida. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll estimates the Sunshine State is a toss-up. Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris attended an event to mobilize voters in Atlanta, Georgia, a state that's considered too close to call. Campaigning continues tomorrow. President Trump will have a busy day with events in North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Former Vice President Biden has multiple stops planned in Pennsylvania. This election year has brought some sharp political divides among friends and families. Some have taken to social media with their political views, and others have become angry or upset with what they've seen online. However, mental health experts we talked to say there are ways to get through the political season without separating yourself from those you love and care about.
I always encourage people to treat someone the way you want them to be reacted. So you go in to the conversation being the good listener if you want to be heard.
Littles says it's the same advice for any situation at home, at work, or on social media to establish conversational boundaries and, whenever possible, take a break from it. Let's get a final look at tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll question. Will you take a COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available? 33% of respondents say yes, they will. 67% say no. Thanks for participating. Doug is going to be right back with a complete look at the forecast. First, though, we take time to honor a local veteran. Senior Airman Jacob Ellis, the Sarcoxie, Missouri native, served in the U.S. Air Force. And we are proud to salute Senior Airman Jacob Ellis. He's tonight's four-state hero.
Big switch for us today. 85 record high on Thursday, and then today we sat into the 40s all day long. We had the light showers during the morning hours. It wasn't heavy, but at least we got a little bit of rain, so we'll definitely take that. And then the clouds just stuck around all day long, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. That is our time lapse for you just outside of Seneca, Missouri. It's cold, 43 north winds, 10 to 15, humidity's at 71%. Most of us around the metro in that 42 to about 45 degree range. A little bit cooler in our northern counties. You can see Iola is down to 39, 43 in Grove. Stockton is at 41. We do have the clouds and the winds are still kind of brisk, so that's why our temperatures aren't dropping very quick, but we got a north wind still at about 10 to 15. These will lighten up just a little bit later on tonight. All right, in the purple, these are freeze warnings. In the blue, these are frost advisories. And the National Weather Service puts these out, and I really don't think it warrants it for tonight. I think we're going to stay above freezing, but still we could get a frost in here. So if you do have any plants that can't take it, you may want to cover them or bring them in. But the clouds are hanging tough, and if these would break up a little bit, we could get a little bit cooler. But I think we're going to stay at about 35, 36, 37 degrees. Next storm system, this guy's kind of interesting for us by next Monday until it gets here. A lot of clouds sticking around. Mid-30s tonight. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. If we could get a little bit of sun, we could get into the mid-50s. I think we're going to hang closer to 50 for a high. 47 by noon, we'll go for a high of 52. Clouds thicken tomorrow night, only back into the mid-40s. Then as we go into Sunday, a little warmer. We get briefly southerly winds, so we pop into the upper 50s, and then we start to cool off. By Sunday evening, as showers will start to develop. But most of the weekend looks pretty good. Here's where it gets interesting. Let's go from Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. Rain will start to increase across the region. Temperatures drop into the 40s. Let's go into Monday morning. The pink and the blue is sleet and snow. And as we drop through the 30s on Monday, as of right now, still 3 days away, pretty good shot we're going to get sleet and snow across most of the region. Something we want to watch over the next couple days. Of course, the ground is warm, but hey, we're getting closer to winter. 52 tomorrow, 58 Sunday, sleet and snow and rain Monday and Tuesday, high temps only into the mid-30s, overnight lows in the 20s.
And it was 85 degrees
85 yesterday.
It's nuts. Thanks, Doug. Hey, Doug and I are getting out of here now, so we can turn it over to Jacob and the rest of the sports team. Friday night football action straight ahead.
Four States Friday night, brought to you by Lafette Health, G&B Bank, and Cobb Realty.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into week 9 of 4 State Friday night. I'm KOAM Sports Director Jacob Leonard. Now, this week is the final week of the regular season in Missouri, and that's where we're going to start. The Carthage Tigers aim to finish off a perfect regular season tonight at home against Nixa. Now, this is a good one. Carthage, the top-ranked team in the state in Class 5. Nixa, number 7 in Class 6. Not gonna lie, not a great start for the Tigers. First play from scrimmage for Nixa. It's Ramon Green down the far sideline, 80 yards right off the bat. Nixa has a 6-0 lead early. Now, later in the first, Patrick Carlton has the response for Carthage. Dives across for the score. Tigers have their first lead 7-6. The second quarter, they're up 14-6 now. The defense makes a play, getting a hand on the Nixa field goal. Now, under 20 seconds until halftime, check this out. Carlton airs it out to Justin Sneed. Sneed makes a great grab in traffic. Carlton would punch it in after that. It's 21-6 at half. Tigers go on to roll 35-12. They finish at the top of the COC at 8-0 overall. The Webb City Cardinals have been on fire since their Week 1 loss to Joplin. Webb City has won 7 games in a row, all of those by 14 points or more. Now, tonight the Cards welcome in the Willard Tigers, trying to take an 8-game winning streak into the district playoffs. The Cardinals start the game. A little onside kick there. They recover, and that will eventually lead to this. Handoff to Devin Weathers. Bounces outside and into the end zone from 12 yards out. Webb up 7 early. The next Cardinal possession, Cole Gaiman's pass is tipped. Brandon Grave comes down with the INT for Willard. Tigers, though, not able to turn it into points. Then later in the first, pitch to Weathers. He does his thing, cuts back inside. Nobody's going to stop him. Weathers with his second score of the night. That one from about 45 out. PAT no good. It's Webb, though, up 13-0, and they would keep it up in the second. Gaiman calls his own number. He faked that dude right out. A little spin move. He scores. Webb goes for 2, pushes the lead to 21. Cardinals roll Willard tonight 55-0. The Joplin Eagles 4-4 on the year, trying to get above 500 before the playoffs begin. They're at Neosho tonight. They would go on to roll 48-0 to get to 5-4 with districts beginning next week. One more out of the COC here. Carl Junction wraps up the regular season at home against Ozark. Bulldogs up double digits at the break. Third quarter here. Alex Baker to Noah Southern. He falls into the end zone. CJ pushes its lead to 20. Ozark answers on the ensuing drive. Cannon Cox with the sneak. Cuts the lead back to 13. The next Ozark drive, Tigers going to the air this time. Cox throwing it deep. That's Ethan Pritchard in stride. It's now a one-score game, but midway through the fourth, Baker pitches it out to Brady Sims. He's outside. It's a foot race. It's a foot race. He wins. 40 yards to the house. CJ holds on to win this one by 5, 33-28. In the Big 8, a couple good ones tonight. The Lamar Tigers finished the regular season with their 5th consecutive win, beating East Newton 54-13. The McDonald County Mustangs, a big opportunity this evening, trying to knock off 8th-ranked Cassville. It is the Wildcats, though, finishing the job 44-21. On the Kansas side, a pair of 4 and 3 teams going at it tonight. Pittsburgh on the road against Baser Linwood. Purple Dragons not able to keep up. They fall in this one 27-10. The Fort Scott Tigers, well, they just keep winning games. Tigers are 5-0 this season. They're one of just 2 unbeaten 4A teams in the state. Fort Scott aims to stay perfect tonight, wrapping up the regular season at home against Field Kinley. Starting in the first, Tigers ball, Jacob Stinnett with the handoff. About 58 yards, untouched for the score. Fort Scott up 8-zip. To the third, Tiger ball again. It's Stinnett again, taking it up the middle for the score. That pushes the lead to 14. Now to the fourth, Tigers again. This time, it's going to be Malachi Van calling his own number up the middle into the end zone. Fort Scott leads by 20. How about the Tigers? One win last year. They're 6-0. They win it and claim the SEK title 28-0. Well, speaking of undefeated teams, the Columbus Titans 7-0 coming into the night. They try to finish off a perfect regular season at Caney Valley. No, Titans didn't hold back in this one. They win 47-16. Columbus claims the 3A District 1 championship. And how about this? Running back Gabe Martin, 200-plus yards and 6 touchdowns. We got to take our one and only break here on 4 State Friday night. When we come back, Frontenac and Girard square off in an important district game to finish up the regular season. Plus, Colgan aims to claim a district title against Riverton. First, though, here are a few more scores from tonight. The Frontenac Raiders hit the field against Girard tonight. Now, this is a good one and an important one for both teams. The Raiders and Trojans both 3-4 coming in, trying to grab a little momentum before the playoffs begin. We're scoreless in the second. Bo Harris takes the pitch for Girard, but it's knocked loose. Cruz Blair lands on it to give the Raiders the possession. Later on into the second, Trojan ball again. Caden Lolleman rolls out for the pass, but we got another turnover here. This one courtesy of Mario Mangini. He's knocked out of bounds deep in Girard territory. Defense really good all night for Frontenac. They go on to claim this one 26-6. Huge one here in 3A District 1. Parsons on the road against Cherryville. The winner moves on to the playoffs. It's Parsons living to play another week, winning 48-14. The Vikings make the playoffs in their first year under head coach Jeff Scheibe. We have a district title on the line in Pittsburgh tonight. Colgan Panthers host the Riverton Rams in the final week of the 2A District 1 regular season. Now, both teams unbeaten in district play. Riverton 2-0, Colgan 3-0. Starting in the third, Rams ball pass to Hunter Crowder is reeled in. That gets Riverton in scoring position. And score is what they would do. It's Crowder again, this time up the middle. Sheds the tackle, runs it in for the score, but Riverton still trails 38-6. Now ensuing kickoff, Riverton with the onside. Hunter Crowder, guess who, picks it up to give it back to Riverton, but that not gonna last long. Next Riverton possession, they would get picked off in the end zone by Gianni Pacini. This one all Colgan. Panthers are district champs 44-12. Well, before we go, it's time now for our KOAM News Now Insta poll. We're asking you to vote for the performance of the night. Is it the Fort Scott Tigers, finishing off in a perfect regular season to claim the SEK title, or the Carthage Tigers, finishing on top of the COC with a perfect regular season? Or is it that dude, Gabe Martin? 6 touchdowns for Columbus tonight, leading the Titans to a district title. Let's go to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote to vote in the poll. We're going to keep that open until noon tomorrow. That's all the time we have here on 4 State Friday night. If you missed anything, we'll have highlights and a complete scoreboard up on our website shortly. It'll be on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. For now, though, we got to run. Thanks for staying up late with us. See you right back here next Friday.